Welcome to my channel. My name is Valerio and today we're gonna review a model kit, the Linebarrel Overdrive version by Good Smile Company, belonging to the line Moderoid. And if you want to buy one of these, I got mine for, I think I'll be linked Japan, but I couldn't swear it, like honestly I'm not 100% sure about it. Anyway, the price was around $40, give it or take it. And well, wherever you can find it, that is supposed to be the price. And as you can see, the box out of it is not a small box. And if you don't know where this robot come from the comic with the same, from the manga with the same name, Linebarrels of Irons, or from the anime Linebarrel of Irons. Now, I never watched anime, but I did read the old comic. And if you're interested in reading it, I will tell you that the first half of it, it's way less good than the second half, which is pretty good. Anyway, that's all for presentation out of it. Let's start to look and dive in within the runners. And during the runners, normally what I do is that I throw the runners so you can see how much plastic there is, manuals inside of it. Here, this is the first bit of manual to show you how to move from the normal version to the overdrive. This is a giant sticker, sheet of sticker, very big. I was hoping it would have been as good as the Voltron from Moderoid, still to the Moderoid line. It is not, I can tell you this already. However, the instructions are as usually extremely good with Moderoid. The build, normally during this bit of the review, I throw the runners on the screen, and if there is something weird to comment, I comment about it. Otherwise, just tell you how is the build experience. The build experience is very enjoyable. The build is very easy. There is quite a bit of plastic inside of it, and if you never bought a Moderoid, the quantity of plastic that you get is way similar to a real grade or a master grade, to a smaller master grade than a HG from Bandai. So there is a lot of plastic, everything is pre-painted. You normally don't need glue out of it. They suggest to use it in two parts into the kit. However, you don't need to use it. I didn't use it. I will not use it until I decide that I will build it for real and paint it, which, looking at my backlog, might happen between 1 year and 1.5 years from now. Anyway, all of the color are pretty nice. Nothing special out of it. There are not too many pre-painted parts, which I highly appreciate. However, there are a few. Actually there is one, which is the face of the Linebarrel, and is minuscule. So unless you have experience into painting miniature, I wouldn't touch it. Painting in that scale is almost like painting the face of a space marine. Just to give you a frame of reference, there it is, very tiny. It is so tiny because, not because the model kit is small, because absolutely it is not, but because fundamentally it is the size of the Linebarrel face. Now we look at the accessories. There is quite a bit of stuff. Now these are the shield that it carries on the side. These are the overdrive version out of it, and the difference between this one and the main one is that on the main one you can attach swords and swords holder. These are the open shoulder pads. They're pretty nice. I way prefer the kit into the overdrive version versus the normal version. I like that they decided to add extra piece instead of adding a silly gimmick that I would never use it. This is a bigger skirt that he has, way open. Normally he has only one of this thing, and now, sorry, did detach a tiny bit, but mainly user error more than the kit error. And these are some of the parts I recommend you to glue, but there is really no need for it, as I can show you right now. Anyway, the skirt is much bigger, and most of the stickers go into the inside of this part. So you'll say, yeah, so I don't need to do the stickers because nobody will ever see it. Yes, but other part of the sticker are on the shoulder pads, which not great. Anyway, this is the weapon of the Linebarrel. So there are two options for this weapon. I decided to go with the sword option, but it can also be a cannon one, and is attached by a pipe to the mech. I prefer the sword version. I forgot to show you the cannon. Sorry guys, I really forgot to show you the cannon version, and these are the sword. There are a bunch of open ends. So as far as I can tell, these are almost exactly the same as the Sentinel version, which did release a diecast version of this kit, and it's amazing. I did a review, but it's only in Italian, so sorry guys, but you can watch it. The images are pretty nice. Anyway, the hands are almost the same. If I'm not wrong, the one of the Sentinel are they can move, but that's all there is about it. The sculpt is not the same though. Now, 2.5 hours of build later, this goes pretty quickly, let's say 3 hours with all the option parts, we find ourselves our Linebarrel of irons in the normal version. So it doesn't look big, but it's mainly because of its shape. And while on the description they say that it's 18 centimeter, which is, give it or take it, 7 inches, something like that, I have the feeling it's a bit taller, so I wonder if they measure only at the base of the shoulder or on the head. I will guess this is mostly like 8 inches, but I might be wrong. This is just an impression about how you're gonna fold the legs. And if you've never seen this model kit, and it kind of reminds you of anything, it might remind you of two things. If you're really into classic mech, it might remind you of the reboot that the Getter Devolution reboot, because obviously the designer is the same, and Getter Devolution was after this one, so these are the original design out of his robot. Second, it reminds a lot of a Mortar Head from 5-Star Stories. It takes a different spin over them, like it removes the feet, but it has quite a few of the design characteristic of the of a normal Mortar Head: small face, small waist, and weird proportion. Anyway, overall, let's look articulation. The heads can go up and down. There is a double ball joint, one on the top of the head and one on the neck. Pretty movable, but the head, please pay attention to the antenna. Now the arm can reach the level of the shoulders. I think it is a double joint. I don't remember. Anyway, you can have a nice closure out of it. Yes, it is a double joint. It goes up, up, up. Obviously, you can see the seam line that cuts everything. And there is this kind of shield where you can attach the katanas, which actually it is on a ball peg. There is a bit of a butterfly joint. The hand, it is over a ball peg. The butterfly joint is not it's not a giant one, but it's still enough. You can move it at the waist. And there is also a tiny bit of an ab crunch, which is okay. This design is very, very weird. So obviously, to be able to pull off a bit of articulation out of it, you either destroy the design or you have to study how to solve the problem. Here they decided to study. So the legs are the superior part of the build, because the seams line are at least on the side, so you don't have to scrimp too much in front of it in order to go and fix seam slice in case you paint it. If you don't paint it, you're just straight up builder. I mean, it's totally fine. So you see, it's pretty articulated. You can do the Van Damme, you can do the split one side or another one, and even if the design is weird, it can pull off most of the pose that you might want to put it. On the back, you attach this, I can't remember, I think it has a specific name, ends up being a tripod, because it doesn't have feet. That is the only way they were able to make it stand. I think it's technically in the manga a bit shorter, but it is what it is. And now we're gonna look the Overdrive version. Now in the Overdrive version, you change the pauldron, you change the shield or the guards for the arms, and you change the skirt. Now it looks way more bombastic, if I might say so. It looks even bigger, and it's not small. I don't know why they write 18 centimeters. I'm pretty sure it's taller. Anyhow, I should measure it and just bring a tape. Anyway, it is like the parts that are kind of hidden inside the armor, fully open. And if I'm not wrong, is when in the manga it goes full on banana in the first episode. It's not the final version out of it. But I mean, honestly, I bought this one because I have the Sentinel, and I wanted to paint this one in red, so to make the ultimate version of Linebarrel. Now we're gonna go a tiny bit for comparison as usual, and we're gonna see a few model kits. Now, Lego Dude is very, very tiny, as usual. Now, Voltron, it is exactly as high as Voltron. I thought Voltron looks way more bulky, so that's why I don't understand. Anyway, Narrative Gundam Master Grade, similar. Actually, the narrative is bigger, but weird the proportion. Bottoms from Wave, amazing little kit. I will not do the review of it, but it's very, very cool. R1 SMP from Bandai, very small, but it can transform, so it's pretty cool on its own, and has a kind of similar color scheme out of it. And then with the Baga Ari from Gothic Maid, which is the sequel of 5-Star Story, it is a doll, so they're called. Anyway, similar design. You can see how things could have gone one way or another, and they went into both ways. Now for conclusion. Okay guys, as usual, pro and cons, I will try to go as quickly as possible and then give you a suggestion about whatever to buy or not. On the con side, So this is not the worst Moderoid, this is not the best Moderoid, but there are seam lines very visible on the arms, and to fix them is gonna take quite a good level of skill if you intend to paint it and you are into the modeling and you're not like a straight out of the box builder. There is a giant sheet of stickers, which still, if you want to paint it, is gonna push a tiny bit your skill, because some of this stuff you can just mask it easily, and some of this stuff you will need to scribe before you can even mask it, and that is not something that everybody knows how to do it. And that's all for the prawns. It is pretty possible. For once, I have the feeling I don't have to rescribe the whole kit, because most of the panel line seems deep enough. The build goes very, very quickly, very, very fast. It is very enjoyable, on the same level as the Voltron, which it's a compliment since I love that kit. The price is not too high, because I think at $40–50 this is pretty good deal, if you can still find it at that price. But I mean, I don't see why this one will disappear from the market anytime soon. And finally, I love this design. This is more a specific one of mine. I'm a giant 5-star stories nerd, and this looks too much like a mortar head for me not to love it. That's all. That's all I can say about it. Same reason why I bought also the model kit, even though I already have the Sentinel version, but the full armor one, and you can see the review in Italian, unfortunately. Anyhow, so on my end, this is a recommend, because I very, very love the design. Now, is the best Moderoid? No. Is the worst Moderoid? No. But it does a few things very well, possibility, so I highly recommend it. Anyway, that's all from me, guys. Please like and subscribe, and have a nice day. Bye.